भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Dear devotees, you are welcome.
Recording in progress.
Doing Bhakti Vaibhav with VIHE. We are in the last section of the Bhakti Vaibhav study, 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and mostly the subject matter in the 6th canto is nourishment or poshan or anugraha. This is a merciful disposition of Supreme Lord towards His beloved part and parcel living entities. So in first three chapters, these chapters, nourishment or poshan or protection or anugraha is done through holy name. In the next chapter, fourth, the anugraha or nourishment is done by form. It means the darshan of Supreme Lord, direct audience of Lord Vishnu to Daksh. And Daksh's Pravritti Marg is nourished and Narad's Nivritti Marg is nourished. And then there is a poshan or nourishment through Nad or Narayan Kavach. Indra get protection by Narayan Kavach. And then there is a wonderful story of poshan of Vritasur, son of Tushta, Prajapati, and his deep devotion all of a sudden manifested. And then there's a portion by worship, last two chapters, where Mother Diti worshipped Supreme Lord, and instead of Daityas, the all Marutas become demigods. So in this way there are 19 chapters in this 6th canto, and we have to be together in first, say from 2nd to 6th chapter, 5 chapters. So we will see the nourishment by holy name and form. 6th chapter is I think beginning of the whatever will come we will discuss. Now yesterday we discussed something, chastisement of Yamadutas by Vishnu Dutas. And the theme was the one who is instituting justice, and one who is a protector, one who is qualified with all good qualities, one who is instructed in scripture, one who is impartial. How can he punish a person who is sinless? Now then the verse 8 we started, from verse 8 till 19, the next section is Glories of Holy Name by Vishnu Dutas. And this is the verse 8. Yesterday we left because the purport by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti part is almost 7-8 pages. I think you all have this purports with you, right? Have you all gone through this purport? Prabhus? Yes?
I have it, Prabhu, but I haven't gone through it, no.
No, I think everybody has. No. Everybody has this?
Yes, you sent the copies, yes.
Yeah, I sent to you and also I think Ajay Prabhu to share. So,
Yes.
Advait Prasad, Prabhu, you have this?
I don't have.
I have my other computer, but I also got the book.
Yeah, book. Now, book is there, but the other, I'm not referring to others because they are on Sanskrit, but other acharyas as Jiva Goswami and others also are there in this see, soft copy. So maybe the one who has can share with everybody just for reference. Is it okay? So this purport is quite lengthy. The whole discussion is who is saved by holy name and who is not saved, and how he is saved, and what is the role of bhakti in chanting holy name. So there's a very lengthy discussion. We will just see some important parts of this. So let us see. This is the verse. Everybody has verse. Ete neva hi aghono asya. Ete neva. Ete neva means by chanting Narayan. Definitely, indeed, certainly, he is agoni. He is sinful. Of this Ajamil Asya Kirtam Syad Ag Nishkritam. He has already atoned for those sins completely. When Yada Narayana Eti Jagad Chatur Aksharam, when he chanted the 4 syllables Narayana. Now, Srila Prabhupada's purpose is previously, when engaged in sinful activities to maintain his family, Ajamil chanted the name of Narayan without offenses. How? By chanting the name of his son. To chant the holy name of the Lord just to counteract one's sinful activities or to commend sinful activities on the strength of chanting holy name is offensive. So he has not done for this purpose. But although Ajamil engaged in sinful activities, he never chanted holy name of Narayan to counteract them. He simply chanted the name Narayan to call his son. Because of chanting the holy name of Narayan in this way, he had already vanquished the accumulated sinful reaction of many, many lives. In beginning, he was pure as a Brahman. But although he later committed many sinful acts, he was offenseless because he did not chant the holy name of Narayan to counteract them. One who always chants the holy name of the Lord without offense is always pure. As confirmed in this verse, Ajamil was already sinless, and because he chanted the name of Narayan, he remained sinless. It did not matter that he was calling his son, the name itself was effective. Now the upcoming verses will actually, I think we chanted this verse, but we did not discuss, right? Stena sura pomitra drugha brahmaha guru talpaga स्त्री राजपित्र गोहंता ये च पातकीनो अपरे इदम एव सुनिष्कृतं नाम विहारणं विष्णोः यतः तदा विष्यः मतिः. नाम विहारण विष्णु, when he chanted the holy name of Vishnu, विष्यः मतिः. Vishyamati, this is most important word. He attract the attention of the Lord. Tat Vishyamati. And the translation for this verse, and there is no purport by Srila Prabhupada, we left it yesterday here. Now the purport here is, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, if Ajamil's chanting produced such an effect. Oh, now before that we have something. Okay, here. Chanting is the best atonement, number one, because it destroyed not only reaction of sins, number one, but number two, also the root of it, that is material desires. And the root of material desire is avidya or ignorance. So chanting of the holy name is one of the limbs of bhakti. If offenselessly chanted, then it has double a function. One, to destroy the reaction of the sins, and number two, to completely uproot the cause of the sinful activities, that is sinful desires and ignorance. Right? Is it okay? Now here is the whole say, the name of the Lord may destroy sins, but how can Nam Abhas? Now this word Nam Abhas means chanting holy name without knowing the power of holy name, the influence and effect of holy name. That's called Nam Abhas. Be the atonement for thousands of grave sins which cannot be destroyed by thousands of 12-year woes. Means in Karma Kand, if one is not able to destroy for 12 years, how can Nam Abhas can destroy this? Chanting is the best atonement. Sunishkritam. Sunishkritam. Sins is destroy the root of sin, while the other process only destroy only the sin. Now the next main point, the other result that after chanting the Lord's, the other result, this is the first result. The other result which is in the verse is, after chanting the Lord's mind dwells on that person. Mati actually is like selecting somebody or identifying somebody. Mati is a type of the intelligence by which we select somebody as our dear one. So by chanting holy name, even Nam Abhas, Lord is attracted. It's Krishna Akrishani. It's Krishna Akrishani. That is not the only result. Means destruction of the sins and the root of the sin. No. Because from chanting of the name, the Lord's mind dwells on the person who chants. Tad Vishyamati. Tad Vishyamati. It means Lord's mind is attracted towards the chanter of the holy name. Lord thinks, this person belongs to me. I will always protect him. This is Sridhar Swami's meaning of the phrase. Which phrase? Tad Vishyamati. Tad Vishyamati means, this person belongs to me. I will always protect him. Now, some other reason. If Ajamil's chanting produced such an effect, what would happen if one chants with a proper attitude? So this is a logic. Hearing his name being chanted and remembering Ajamil, the Lord ordered us, this is Vishnu Duta saying, hearing his name means name of the Vishnu, Narayana. Being chanted and remembering Ajamil, it means Lord was remembering Ajamil. Lord's mind was attracted towards Ajamil. And then what did Lord do? He ordered us to bring Ajamil, who was chanting his name. This is, see how it works. So how Vishnu Duta came? They were sent by Vishnu. Narayan. Why? Because chanting of the name Narayan as a Nam Abhas even attracted the mind of Narayan, and he sent the Vishnu Duta to bring Ajamil. Then how much more the Lord will remember a person who chants the Lord's name with a service attitude. This is very important. Service attitude is the constitutional position of the soul. Chanting as service to the Lord. Chanting to render service to the Lord. This is the implication, means that is the, now the next topic. The very first time Ajamil called his son Narayan, all his past and future sins were destroyed. Past and future. And the rest of the chanting produced bhakti. This is most important. After sins are destroyed, bhakti starts. So his bhakti started. To show this to the servants of Yama, the servants of Vishnu said that Ajamil chanted at the time of death had destroyed all his sins. But actually, from the first time that Ajamil called his son Narayan, out of all the times he called, all his sins had been destroyed. The rest of the chanting after that produced bhakti. The past tense of Syad VIHE in this verse, he chanted in the verse 7. Also indicate that from the first time he chanted the name, all sins had been destroyed. So to answer your question, you have to mention this. In verse 7, it is past tense, and past tense means by chanting his name of Narayan even before his death, he has already done the full attainment. Okay, now the word vivashaha in this verse means spontaneously out of affection for the child, not for the Lord. Proof that the first chanting destroyed all the sins in the past and future and following chanting produced bhakti. What is the proof? But after chanting repeatedly, there were repeated sins, such as going to the prostitute, drinking wine. So, once he chanted Narayan, his son's name, and still he was doing same things. In order to destroy those sins, he had to chant at the end of his life. Since there was again appearance of the sin. This is a question. This cannot be said, because it will be said later. It means upcoming verse number 14. Vaikuntha nama granam asesha agaharam. Chanting the Lord's name destroy unlimited sins. The following verse also show that chanting releases one from the bondage of sansar. So this verse is quoted. All sins in the present, past, and future are quickly destroyed by chanting the name of Govinda, which is like fire. Govinda Anal Kirtani. Anal means fire. As fire burns everything to ashes, chanting the holy name of Govind finishes all sins, present, past, and future. Yannam Sukrate Shrunuvat Pukkasho Api Vimuchya Samsarat. By hearing one of your names, one hearing only, even the outcast is delivered from the material world. This is 6th canto, verse number chapter 16. And now this is what we have already done in 5th canto, chapter 1. Such power is not surprising from persons who have conquered 6 senses by the dust from the lowest feet of the Lord. Since even an outcast become immediately free of bondage of karma by chanting Lord's name even once. Because there is no mention of particular time span for the effect to occur. It should be understood that by the first chanting there is a destruction of all sins. All desires, number 2, all sins, all desires which are the cause for future sins, which is root as well. And also ignorance, number 3, which is the cause of desires, which is the root cause, because only then sin will not appear in the future. So from where these few words can somebody recall from where they are? Parampara of suffering. Suffering is due to sinful activities. Sinful activities are due to desires, and desires are due to ignorance. Where is this?
Bhagavad Gita, Kamesha, Krodesha, Rajoguna.
Not exactly.
And this nectar devotion, I think.
Yeah, this is good guess. Where?
That,
What are the 6 characteristics of Uttam Bhakti?
oh, okay. Kleshagni, Shubhada.
Yes, Kleshagni, Shubhada. This is in Kleshagni.
Yes.
Kleshas are due to sinful activities. Sinful activities are due to desires, and desires are due to ignorance. So root of all suffering is ignorance, avidya. So by chanting holy name, this whole chain is completely destroyed. Now I'm just telling you my realization. Commonly this is believed in the Vaishnava society like ours. As soon as we take initiation, all the sins are taken by a spiritual master. Am I right? Do we have this understanding, belief?
Yes, Prabhuji.
How? My understanding is, realization is, because he gives us Shuddha Bhakti, and the first effect of Shuddha Bhakti is Klesha Gani. So because the spiritual master gave us holy name, and this holy name immediately as a Klesha Gani destroy all the sins. It's not that the spiritual master takes sins on his head, but this is the procedure, or this is the process how sins are destroyed. When we practice bhakti, Klesha Gani means all sins are destroyed. So simple. Is it clear? Neelamani, what do you think?
Definitely.
This is actually what it means. It's not that you just put all these sins in some bag and hand over to the spiritual master. It's not like that. Because he gives the holy name, because he gives the process by which Klesha Ganya is the first characteristics. So ultimately we have to chant. Baal is in our court.
Prabhuji, I have one question in this regard. So sometimes, when senior disciples or the spiritual masters, they are suffering, either health issues or some other difficulty.
It means that we are not practicing our devotional service properly.
We sometimes attribute that.
It means sometimes, because responsibility of the spiritual master is to take the disciple back to home, back to Godhead. But if they are not ready for that, so Prabhupada, I think once one of Prabhupada's disciples said, well, I have to come back again here, preach and preach. Prabhupada said, why you are forcing your spiritual master to come again and reclaim you? Because spiritual master has to come again to reclaim you. So ultimately he is suffering because we are not ready to go back to Godhead. So apparently it appears that he's suffering because he don't see that most of them are ready to go back to Godhead. But maybe some other has some reason somebody can give. This is my realization when once I was discussing all this in detail sometime, I realized that Klesha Ghani is a first characteristic of sadhan bhakti, and the sadhan bhakti is given by spiritual master as a seed of devotional service, and this process just begins.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
But in that in devotion, there are no other explanations for Kleshagni except that the Shubhada and Kleshagni, the first two leaves.
No. Klesha Ghani. The Klesha Ghani.
And what I'm saying is there is no other. So it's a logical conclusion.
Yeah, this Klesha Agni is first, and it comes at the stage of sadhana. Even at the stage of beginning sadhana. And usually we convince the devotees that now, so as soon as we just ready to take initiation, we give up, 4 sinful activities. So this Klesha Ghani is already beginning. We give up all the intoxin, all these. This is of the sins. What else is there? So already we give up all these activities even before initiation. So just chanting even before initiation brings so much quick reformation. That is also in some of the purpose of Prabhupada we can see. So anyway, this is something.
Hare Krishna.
Yes? Anybody have to say
Hare
something?
Krishna, Prabhu. Even one lecture I was hearing from Bhanuswami Maharaj, Prabhu. He also said the same thing. Like he is also saying that it's doubt that whether the yajna removes the sins or the spiritual master, but actually the chanting, actually the Harinam actually removes the sins.
That's Klesha Ghani actually. Yes, that's right.
That's what he is also saying.
Yeah, that's my realization. I'm saying, so we have to be sincere, basically speaking. These other things are formalities, right? Okay. As a lengthy purport, I think we can finish this. I doubt. Why did not the sin leave him then itself? Why? Because, now 2 things. They were just in the form of impression, like the bites of a toothless snake. It means when Ajamil, after chanting one son's name Narayan, he was still going to the prostitute or drinking or something. They are like impressions. When you turn off the fan, because of momentum, it goes for a while. Or this is one example Prabhupada used to give. The other example is by the bite of a toothless snake. It will not produce karma. It means it will not produce karma. Number 2, this is another important. The Lord wanted to prevent other philosophies to become uprooted. It means Karma Kand should not be uprooted from the human society. Otherwise, people will not do any atonement. Even they will not chant and they will not do any atonement. So these are the two reasons. So here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, why then did sin not leave Ajamil after chanting the first time? How could he continue to be attached to the woman and commit sins for so long, if all his sins had been destroyed? Like the karma of a Jivan Mukta. It means a person who is Jivan Mukta still is doing all his activities, like Prabhupada was doing all his activities, which remains for some time simply as impressions, Jivan Mukta. Ajamil's sins, which lasted till his death, were like the bites of a toothless snake and did not generate results. It means it was not karma, so there is no phal or fruit. Moreover, the Lord himself will cause continuance of the sin in order that other philosophies like karma kand actually will not be completely uprooted. Because there are people, they believe in karma kand, so they should not give that up. The glories of the holy name is not an exaggeration. The great sinners can be delivered, but not the great scholars who consider the glories of the holy name as an exaggeration. This is another now angle. Big scholars who think that holy name cannot do that, they will not be delivered. But a simple person like Ajamil, even if he don't know what is holy name, he will be delivered. That's the question. If one were to explain the scriptural statement concerning the power of name to be exaggerated phrase of the Lord's name, then one would be committing offense. Tatta arthvad hari namani kalpanam. It is an offense to interpret the name or think its powers are exaggeration. Padma Puran. So why they are not liberated? Because they are offender to the holy name. One takes shelter of the name at any time, crosses material life by the name. One falls to the hell from offense to the name of the Lord, the friend of all beings. Padma Puran. The most sinful of men who interpret the name of the Lord falls to hell. Katyani Santa. That person who even after hearing about wonderful results of the holy name of the Lord refuses to develop sincere faith in the name and on the contrary interprets the name is hurled by me into the deep gloom of material nescience after being dragged through the excruciating suffering. Padma Purana. It's a Padma which is misspelled. So this is another Nam Aprad. Hearing so much glories of holy name is still having no faith. This is another Aprad. Shruti Sumrti Pranadishu Nam Mahatamya Vadishu. The persons who interpret the Shruti, Smriti and Pran, which wonderfully glorify the Lord's name, stay in hell forever. Thus, from scripture like Padma Puran, Katyani Santa, there are thousands of statements showing fall down from interpreting the name. Parikshat has just said, what Parikshat said? After withdrawing from sin, one comment the sin again. I think atonement is useless, like an elephant's bathing. So Parikshat criticized atonement, but not bhakti. Although seeing sinful tendencies in some of the devotees. So he criticized atonement, but not the bhakti. The devotee may have sinful tendency, but still his bhakti is very powerful because he is chanting holy name. Api cheta duracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadure mantavya kshipram vivastohi sa. Samyak vivastohi sa kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashva chantim nigacchati. This is Bhagavad Gita verses. Now Parikshat criticized atonement bhakti. He has condemned atonement because of seeing that the tendency for sin remains, because the root is there. But he does not criticize bhakti. Though seeing sinful tendency in some of the devotees, And Ajamil, a sinner, by the strength of the Nam Abhas, attained Vaikuntha. But Smartas means those who believe in Vedas but have no faith in holy name. And others, though knowing scripture and though chanting the name, continue existence in frightful sansar because of the offenses of interpreting the name. The name gives its fruit after some time, and in some cases does not show its effect at all. I think these are very, the personal application and understanding. This whole purport, I think everybody should take time and try to understand. Sometimes it takes time to give result. We are chanting for 40 years, but it's still, we are awaiting the mercy of the holy name. And sometimes it never gives its result at all. But one should not worry that everyone will immediately become liberated on seeing such power in the name. Though sin is completely uprooted just by chanting the name once, in most cases the name shows its fruits to the world after some time, just as the fruit tree bears fruit after some time only, not immediately. And in some cases the name does not show its effects at all. In order that the material scriptures, such as Karam Kand, are not completely destroyed, then after doing this, the same name takes the person who have chanted without offense to the Lord's abode. This conclusion should be understood. If chanting destroys all sins, then nobody should go to hell for illicit sex, violence, etc. if they chant. Answer: I accept that because of offense to the name, those who interpret the name as exaggeration go to hell. However, if chanting the name destroys all sins, all karmis and jnanis, yogis and bhakta should not go to hell for illicit sex or violence if they chant. And if the name does not destroy all sin, all these people and even the bhakta should go to hell to suffer the results of their sins even if they chant. The holy name is protecting in a similar manner as merchant. A less offense, the more the protection. Now this is some analogy given of a merchant. So this, somebody can read this green paragraph. Can you see this?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Uh-huh.
So a merchant protects a person under his shelter according to the degree that the person surrenders to him. If the person offends him, the merchant becomes displeased with him and does not give protection to that surrendered person. But one should not think that the merchant is incapable of protecting him. And according to the degree that the offense diminishes, the merchant begins to show mercy to that person. When the offense is completely gone, the merchant shows all mercy. The name is similar.
So merchant here represents the holy name. So he responds corresponding to the surrender of the chanter. They consider bhakti as secondary means, and this is their offense, therefore fruits don't come fully. They means karmis and jnanis and yogis. They think bhakti is secondary. So this is which type of bhakti? It's called Guni Bhuta Bhakti. Those who take shelter of Bhakti Devi, representing the name, as secondary practice in order to bring out results, karam, jnana and yoga, whatever. Bhakti is present in the minor portion. This is called Guni Bhuta Bhakti. This is according to the rule that things are named according to the predominant factor. So predominant is karma and jnana. They are thus not called Vaishnavas. They are not Vaishnavas. By their nature, they are offender to the name in one aspect of it. Aspect, what is that? For it is said, Dharma vartaya aghot adi sarva shubha kritya samyapihi pramadaha. The eighth offense to consider the holy name equivalent to the dharma, vrata, sacrifice and other karma kand. So this is one of the offense they are doing, therefore the holy name is not giving result. If considering the name of to be equal to karma, dharma or even is an offense, then the offense is much more if one consider the name secondary to karma and dharma, being a mere limb of the karma or dharma. Only out of compassion does Bhakti Devi gives a result of other practices, not otherwise. But herself is independent, therefore Vaishnavas don't have to perform any attainment. Yes, please read this yellow paragraph.
Though recognizing that they have offended her, out of compassion, Bhakti Devi thinks Karma Yoga and these other processes should not be fruitless, since they have accepted a small portion of her shelter. Thus, though she has become only a limb of karma, she gives the results of karma, jnana and other processes without obstruction. Similarly, when bhakti is a limb of atonement, she destroys the sins in those persons practicing atonements. It is not otherwise, and those who do not perform atonements go to hell to experience the results of their sins. However, Vaishnavas do not need to perform atonements.
So what actually is said here is, I think all of you are already aware, the bhakti, Chakravarti Pada has divided bhakti into two, pure and mixed, and the mixed is divided into two, Guni Bhuta and Pradhani Bhuta. Guni Bhuta is this one which we are reading now, in which bhakti is secondary to the karma, jnana or yoga. Therefore, bhakti is needed to give the result of these sadhanas, these processes or these practices. Otherwise, on their own, these practices cannot give result. But there is no result of bhakti, therefore they are not called Vaishnavas. On the other hand, the another mixed bhakti is called Pradhani Bhuta, in which bhakti is 80% and only 20-15% is the other karma, jnana or yoga, whatever. In that case, bhakti brings them up at least to the what is called neutral bhav. It's called shant bhav. It can bring up to shant bhav. So bhakti gives result if it is predominant, not a secondary but primary. So this is that statement. But if these person, beside considering Bhakti Devi as secondary process, also commit offense to the devotees, Bhakti Devi, although being a limb of other process, consider does not give any result. This is more, these people, even they practice some bhakti, but if they offend devotees, no result. Furthermore, if those persons commit other offense such as interpreting the name or committing offense to the devotee and then perform dharma and other processes, Bhakti Devi gives them no result for their efforts, even though she is still a limb of dharma and other processes. And this is a verse quoted. O Brahman, offenses to the name destroy men's pious actions and leads them to the material world. Padma Puran, Brahma Kanda. The more these persons become free from offenses by considering bhakti as primary and associating with devotees, etc., the great result from bhakti is attained. Now it is coming. Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti. Guni Bhuta is over. Somebody can read the yellow portion.
Hare Krishna. If those persons become free from offense and dedicate themselves to chanting or other bhakti process, they will get results for their karma and jnana in proportion to the destruction of offenses. However, with complete destruction of offense by association with devotees, attainment of the result of chanting is certain by the direct mercy of Bhakti Devi.
So result is by Bhakti Devi. The more important is devotee association. Because of his sins, Because of his sins, all karmas and second result of bhakti were destroyed. And by the first chanting of the Narayan, now this is coming back after whole discussion, Chakravarti is coming back to Ajamil. Because of his sins, all karma and second result of bhakti were destroyed. And by the first chanting of the Narayan, the pure bhakti appeared. Now, from the words of the servant of Yama, it is understood that Ajamil was previously involved in karma. He was not a devotee but performed bhakti secondary, which means Gunimhuta bhakti. And therefore all his sins should not have been removed by chanting. That is true. And by sinful acts like drinking, his status as a Brahman was destroyed. What to speak of his pious acts of karma, of doing yajna and other things? It will be explained. Ajamil was a Brahman who became of bad association, had given up all Brahminical culture and religious principle. Becoming most fallen, he stole, drank, and performed other abominable acts. He even kept a prostitute. When his pious karmas were destroyed, pious karmas means what he has done, karma kand. His secondary bhakti was also destroyed. Secondary bhakti means he was using Gunibhuta bhakti. Then pure bhakti appeared when he called out the name of his son Narayan. Now this is very technical explanation. If you understand, it's good. Because he was doing karma and bhakti was Gunibhuta or secondary. And because of that, the result he got is it destroyed all his pious activities of doing karma kand, and also the secondary bhakti is also finished. By chanting holy name, his Shuddha bhakti started. That is what explanation is here. Statement from the scripture that call bhakti secondary should not be accepted. They are only for crooked person and don't free one from the offenses to bhakti. But if there is a scripture rule that one should perform bhakti as a limb of karma or jnana, how can that be offensive? One should not recognize a authoritative scripture. Those statements which permit secondary bhakti out of mercy for person of crooked mentality, who have no faith in bhakti, but faith in karma and jnana, and do not believe a statement like, all process accomplish the result by bhakti alone. By the particle of the bhakti, the greatest sins are destroyed. In attaining swarga through animal sacrifice by following rules, the faith of violence is not destroyed. Similarly, though the offender attain the result of karma and jnana by secondary bhakti according to the rules, his offenses is not destroyed. His offense will continue. Offender who become Vaishnava destroy all offenses according to the degree of bhakti and attain prem according to the degree of Bhakti Devi's mercy. Those offenders who accept the Vaishnava Guru by Vaishnava initiation take shelter of the Bhakti Devi purely or as the primary process, it means pradhani bhukta, mixed, and then worship the Lord by chanting, are called Vaishnavas. According to the degree of bhakti, they attain destruction of offenses. And according to the degree of Bhakti Devi's mercy, they attain the principal result of bhakti, prem. The Lord himself says, this is the verse, 11th canto, Bhagavatam. To the degree that the Atma become purified by hearing and chanting my glories, a person is able to perceive my real form and qualities and experience their sweetness, just as the eye, when smeared with special ointment, is able to see the finer objects. And this is a very famous verse, Bhakti Paresanu Bhava Vrakti Anyatra. Three things simultaneously occur. This is a common, again, 11th chapter. Devotion, direct, number one, devotion, bhakti. Direct experience of the Supreme Lord, Par Isha Anubhava. and detachment from the things, vrakti. These three occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of Krishna. In the same way that the pleasure, fullness of the stomach, and relief from the hunger are experienced simultaneously when, with each bite, for the person engaged in eating. And then there's another verse. Sharananso Katha Krishna Punya Sarvan Kirtana Hirdayantasto Bhadrani Vinod. This is very famous verse of first canto. Krishna who purifies the process of hearing. Krishna who purifies by the process of hearing and chanting, who is the benefactor of the devotees, who hears about him, enters the heart of a devotee and destroys their sins. Such person gradually attain 14 stages of bhakti, and after destruction of offense they are liberated. These 14 stages are explained in this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, bhakti process. Chakravarti Atpal has given 14 stages, starting from the Shrunadavsu Katha Krishna up to the last verse. In the 4 or 5 verses, there are 14 stages. I think you already has sometime referred to it, right? So by these statements it is understood that those persons gradually ascend through the 14 stages of bhakti. In these cases, faith and other steps are prescribed. And in this chapter also it is said, Gunanuvada khalau sattva bhavaha. Chanting the Lord's glory is the process for purification. Verse 12, we will come to that. When all their offenses are gradually destroyed and they attain the Lord, they are liberated from the world. However, for offenseless Ajamil, the path to Vaikuntha is quick. However, for those without offense, attainment of the Lord is quick. Such persons have 2 stages, chanting the Lord's name and attaining Vaikuntha. They don't go under 14 stages. Such is the case of Ajamil. Navasudeva bhaktanam shubhanam vidyate kvachit janma mrityu jara vyadhi bhayam vyapi upajayate. The process, the devotees of the Vasudev have no misfortune at all. They surpass all birth, age, old age and disease. Mahabharata. Swadharma nishtaha sajjanbhi puman. This is the another verse from 4th canto. A person fixed in dharma attains the post of Brahma after 100 births, and by more pious acts a person attains me. But the devotee attains the abode of Vaikuntha after leaving the body, just as I in another form reside there, and the devatas who are qualified to go there after destroying their cell bodies. Some offenses less with a desire for a special prem are delayed by the Lord. Now this is something, those who want really prem is like bhav bhakti. So it is sudurlabha. So in that sense it is sudurlabha. However, some devotees without offense who desire to attain the special prem are delayed in the attaining Lord. For instance, Jad Bharat took 3 births. Devotees with offenses who weren't able to destroy all previous sins do not go to the hell. Among those devotees having offense, if some, because of not worshipping the Lord properly, do not destroy previous sins and continue to sin and to be offender, they do not go to hell after leaving the body. Why? These are the verses from the 3rd chapter of this canto. Yamraj, seeing his followers with news in his hand, says in his ear, do not take devotees, surrender to Madhusudan. I am the master of other men, not to the Vaishnavas. Do not approach those who have surrendered to the Lord, who sees everything equally, who have proper conduct and who are praised with pure narration by the Devatas and Siddhas. And since they are protected by the club of Lord, we, including Brahma and even time, do not have power to punish them. the servants of Yam they say, Yam repeatedly has told us with care, you must leave the Vaishnava Padma. Moreover, the Lord himself says, O Uddhav, because I have personally established it, this process of Nishkam Bhakti is beyond the gunas, beyond three modes of material nature. Even by starting and not completing the process, there is no destruction of the results. Persons will take next material birth only because bhakti bears fruit in the future, but not because of sin or piety. This is a very good statement. Devotee also take birth, but because not because of their karma. That what is the reason? Reason is bhakti will give the fruit in the next birth or the another birth. It's not karma, but it's a bhakti. Thus, since even the sprout of bhakti is imperishable, unaffected by sin and always productive, a person will definitely take birth only in order that bhakti bears leaves and fruits in the future, and not because of the temporary sin and piety. So there's a na karma bandhanam janma vaishnavanam cha vidyate. The worship of Vishnu do not have birth due to karma. Thus, after destruction of the sin and offenses by chanting the name which is caused by the impressions of the previous bhakti, person attain the Lord by mercy of Bhakti Devi.
Prabhuji,
Oh yes.
Prabhuji, here the question is regarding the karma and bhakti. So what is the line here that, so like, people like me, we are engaged in doing karma, not karma yoga, karma, we are doing sense gratification as well, and doing some bhakti on this, So now, at what point we say, yeah, we are doing more bhakti and less karma, or we are getting closer to Nishkam bhakti?
See, process is like this. There are karmis, they are only engaged in doing work and enjoying their fruit. Then there are karma kandis, they do some rituals just for name, fame, and going to heavenly planet. And then there are nishkam karma yogis, they perform karma and they offer the result to the Lord. And above that are the bhakta. They follow the process, limbs of bhakti, sarvanam, kirtanam, regularly. ये बंद करिए ना. See, what we are doing is not karma. We are practicing the Vaidhi sadhan bhakti. And we have two swadharma. One is swadharma of the body and other is swadharma of the soul. We are practicing swadharma of the soul as the Vaidhi sadhan bhakti. But because we have body, so our swadharma of body is like Arjuna has a swadharma of body as a kshatriya to fight. We have swadharma like a Brahman to either preach. We have a swadharma like a businessman to do the business. So that swadharma is a second part of us. In that swadharma, because of our tendency, we may commit some sinful activities, but they will not influence our bhakti. This is what Bhakti Vinod Thakur's explanation is. Apichet Sudaj Duracharo, he said, he has constitutional and he has conditional life. The constitutional life is devotional, but the conditional life may sometime, because of past impression, because of his varna, he may fall down. But in constitutionally, he is protected because he was doing the Suddha Bhakti. So we are basically Vaidhi Sadhan Bhakta.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but
Here I was thinking, we have to come to a level where we are not engaged in fruitive activities. Fruitive means out of the business dealings, interested in fruits,
No,
So until we come to that, my understanding was that we cannot come to Shuddha Bhakti.
no, but as long as we have body, we have to act according to our natural world. So I was hearing that
Right.
the other day, I think Narani Mataji was saying, for Shudra, the world is only Grasta. For a Vash, there is a Brahmachari and Grasta. For a Kshatri, there is a Brahmachari, Grasta and one person. And for a Brahman, he has to take sannyas also. So generally, if a whole life somebody just remain Grasta, that is the level of the Shudra. But even in a devotional service, Devi Varna Ashram, that is also great devotee.
Thank you.
So,
Yes.
so thank you. I think this I was sometime feeling that most of the devotees and congregation they are doing Niskam Karam Yoga, but when I I minutely scrutinizingly understood and consulted the scripture, I came to the conclusion that no, we are practicing the limbs of bhakti as a primary. Just everyday chanting, following four regularity principle is not regularity principle, as I say, as the don'ts. And then hearing Bhagavatam. So these are the powerful limbs of bhakti which we follow. The rest is for the body. So we are devotees, not Nishkam Karma yogis.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. It's like our resolve is to serve Krishna, but we have some conditioning or some condition of life
Yeah, this is what
which forces us maybe. Our resolve is to serve Krishna and we want to follow sadhana bhakti the best we can.
our goal
And
is
we're not pursuing
our
karma
goal
kanda,
is
we're not
Krishna.
pursuing anything else.
Our goal is to get Krishna prem, and our process
Yeah.
of bhakti we are perfectly following. So there's a conditional and constitutional. This is Bhakti Vinod Thakur's concept applies to us. We are doing what we are doing outside at a bodily platform is conditional, but constitutionally we are doing devotional service. That is more important. Hare Krishna.
Very, very nice. One thing I want to also need your guidance on, like Advaita Krishna Prabhu just said about karma kand. We are not karma kandi. So what is karma kand? Like for example,
Karma
we have
kand-
Vedic process.
Generally, Karma Kand is in the Vedas, most of the Veda full of Karma Kand. Perform some pious activities for result, like going to the heaven or getting sun or getting this or that, and doing some rituals for that is called Karma Kand.
Now, on the other hand, say for example, that is the Vedic way of living. Now, if we are doing the material way of living, like doing a regular job or a business and expecting results for sense gratification. So, with that also karma kand?
It's not Karma Kand because it's not Vedic.
I see.
It is our conditioning of the body. According to our Varna, we are doing something because we are devotees and still we have to do like Arjun fighting. So it should be taken like that rather than Karma Kand. Arjun was also enjoying company of Krishna. No.
Very true. Yeah.
He has family.
Yeah.
So I think all the kings are considered great devotees. They were doing the full-time duty of ruling the kingdom. So
Yeah.
it's only our consciousness has to be changed. The consciousness need to be changed in the sense that all the activity we should just focus around loving and serving Krishna and spiritual master and Vaishnavas. Our motto should be in our consciousness, we are doing all this to please Hari Guru Vaishnava. If we have this mentality, then attitude, then things will, sooner or later we will achieve that goal. Okay, I think we had still in the yesterday's purport for long. Still purport is long, I know. Oh, the person who serves Mukunda will never under any condition return to the material world. Unlike the practitioner of other process, remembering the embrace of the Lord's lotus feet, eager for that taste he has experienced, he will not desire to give up those feet again. Happiness and distress of the devotee do not come from karma but from the Lord. In the above verse, Anyavat means like those practicing karma. The devotees will not attain the world of piety or sin, but will accept the word of happiness and distress given by the Lord. When a person realizes you, Krishna, he no longer cares about his good or bad fortune arising from past pious and sinful acts, since it is you alone who control the good and bad fortune. Such a realized devotee also disregards that ordinary living being say about him. Every day he fills his ears with your glories, which are recited in each age by the unbroken succession of Manu's descendant, and thus you become his ultimate salvation. Bhagavatam 10. Those who haven't destroyed offenses will continue to experience the effect of sins. Those who have not destroyed the offense to the name will continue to experience the undestroyed effect of sin. Practicing devotee may attain the Lord immediately if the root of all sin is destroyed after several lifetimes, so their bhakti will be increased. Material happiness they get come from bhakti only. When by increase of bhakti and by practicing it, the offenses to name will be destroyed, the root of sin will be destroyed, and the person will immediately attain the Lord. But they, in order to increase the bhakti, those devotees may even take 1, 2, or 3 lifetimes to attain Lord. The material happiness seen in those devotees arises from practice of bhakti. It is not from karma. It is said, there is one verse quote is, the material results are not suitable for the goal, as a goal for the person dedicated to higher spiritual goals. The desire of a person dedicated to the higher path is not for attainment of material assets. Okay, where are they gone? Okay. Yes. Suffering of those devotees given by Lord only. Yasyaham anugrahati, very say example is given, like a doctor who makes a person fast and gives bitter medicine for increasing appetite. So these suffering to the devotees are given by Lord to increase their love. One should especially, this is last line is very important. One should especially avoid offending a devotees, number 1, and commenting sin on the strength of the chanting. Out of the 10 offenses, these are the 2 most grave offenses. Among 10 offenses, the very strong effect of interpreting the name, thinking its glories or exaggeration, and equating it to the pious acts are obstacle to being a Vaishnava. But among the other offenses, 2 are very strong: offending devotees and committing sin on strength of chanting. Those 2 are particularly described in the frightening way in this scripture. What is the frightening way? How can the name tolerate criticism of those who spread the name Padma Purana? For a person who commits sin on the strength of chanting, there is no purification by servant of the Yam. The only means to get rid of the result of offense is to chant continuously and bear the suffering for the offenses performed. There is no other means of destroying the effect of these 2 offenses than to continually chant the holy name while suffering appropriately for the offense. The effect of the other offenses will be destroyed simply by continual chanting without suffering. So other offenses, no suffering, but these offenses we will chant and we will also suffer. Vishnu cannot be attained easily without Guru. This is another question. I think we will be end very soon. Some people make the following proposition: those offender of the name who are without karma and gyan and practicing bhakti with hearing and chanting, but have not taken initiation because they have not surrendered to the feet of a guru, are still called Vaishnava. The word Vaishnava is defined as the person who takes Vishnu as the object of worship. According to the Panini Sutra, thus Vaishnava are those who have made Vishnu the object of worship by accepting initiation, and also those who make Vishnu the object of worship simply by worship, since there is no other word to describe the two types of people. So the latter type of person also should not fall to hell. Those who will not take initiation will not fall to hell, but this, however, is not correct, because one cannot attain Lord easily without Guru. So this is the another verse quoted from Nirdehamadyam Sulabham Sudurlabham Palvam Sukalpanam Guru Karna Dharam Maya Nukolenaha Nabhasvataretam Puman Bhavabdhim Natare Tassa Atmaha. Having attained the human body, rarely attain, but attain easily, sometime by good fortune, which is like a well-constructed boat, with a guru as a captain, pushed by the favorable winds of serving me, Krishna. A person who does not cross the ocean of material existence is a killer of himself. Therefore, it should be explained that there is no other way of attaining Lord than by becoming a devotee who has surrendered to the feet of Guru, who will be attained in another birth by the power of worship. How then Ajamal attained the Lord without taking shelter of Guru? But it is seen that Ajamil, without surrendering to the Guru, easily attained Lord. This can be explained as follows. Those who, like cows or ashes, make their senses pursue sense objects, cannot know the Lord. Bhakti or Guru, Lord, Bhakti or Guru, even in their dreams. But as in the case of Ajamil, they can be delivered even without Guru by chanting name in a Nam Abhas without offense. Though it has been definitely ascertained that the Lord should be worshipped, that worship is the means of attaining Him, that the Guru is the person who teaches about worship, and that those who were devotees attend the Lord. It is also said, chanting the holy name does not depend on initiation. Pious activities are purushacharya, regulative principle generally observed before initiation. The holy name does not wait for any of these activities. It is self-sufficient, Padyavali. If one taking the above mentioned quote and other quotes about the potency of the holy name, Williamscully does not accept Guru, one commits the third offense of the holy name and doesn't achieve perfection. And this offense is disobeying the Guru. What is the situation of demigod worshippers? I think this the demigod worshippers, there is not much problem for them. But the others who are offenders, they will suffer in this world. Then the other part is explained. Even those who are chanting the holy name like Kamsa, Shishupal and others, they are also delivered. This is one verse quoted. Kama, Dveshad, Bhayat, Snehad, Yata, Bhaktivesha. So, this idea is represented in verse such as following. Even if in the beginning one chant the Hare Krishna mantra with offense, one will become free from such offenses by chanting again and again. Padma Purana. Now, this is example. Even the Narkasur, Banasur and other also get liberation because Lord killed them. But the main point here is one should not chant with hatred to the Lord like vain, Maharaj. That will never give any result. There's this one, this statement is somewhere here. I think we are going to the next verse. Is it okay? We are going to the verse number 11. Chanting is most powerful than prescribed attainment.
Prabhu, one question, Prabhu. Like in the previous slide, it says that Ajamin was chanting a Suddha Naam. But
Not
he
Shuddha.
just-
No. Naam Abbas. It's not Shuddha Naam. Shuddha. See, the Krishna Prem is the result of Shuddha Naam.
Correct, Prabhu. But in previous slide, somewhere I saw, Prabhu, I think.
You know, it said purely, chanting purely means without offenses.
Yeah.
But it is still Naam Abbas.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
But I think this whole lengthy purport needs really separate discussion sometime, because there are so many subjects are covered in that. Somehow I took time. I think I have taken too much time, right? I'm sorry for that.
Not enough time on this, Prabhu. We should spend a couple of hours on this only.
Now
This is so important, Prabhu. It's so important. Thank you, Prabhu.
So now the verse number 11, the comparison. What is the comparison? By following the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies or undergoing atonement, sinful men do not become as purified as by chanting once the holy name of the Lord Hari. Although ritualistic atonement may free one from sinful reactions, it does not awaken devotional service. Unlike the chanting of the holy name, which remind one of Lord's name, fame, qualities, attributes, pastime, and paraphernalia. Is there some purport for this in Srila Prabhupada's book?
Yes, Prabhuji.
No, there's a purport.
Yes, Prabhuji, it's there.
So please read the purport, verse number 11.
Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that the chanting of the holy name of the Lord has special significance that distinguishes it from the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies of atonement for severe, more severe, or most severe sinful actions. There are 20 types of religious scriptures called Dharma Shastras, beginning with the Manu Samhita and Parashar Samhita. But herein it is stressed that although one may become free from the reactions of the most sinful activities by following the religious principles of these scriptures, this cannot promote a sinful man to the stage of loving service to the Lord. On the other hand, chanting the holy name of the Lord even once not only frees one immediately from the reactions of the greatest sins, but also raises one to the platform of rendering loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is described as Uttama Shloka because he is famous for his glorious activities. Thus, one serves the Lord by remembering his form, his attributes, and pastimes. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that this is all possible simply by chanting the Lord's holy name because of the Lord's omnipotence. What cannot be achieved through the performance of Vedic rituals can be easily achieved through the chanting of the Lord's holy name. To chant the holy name and dance in ecstasy is so easy and sublime that one can achieve all the benefits of spiritual life simply by following this process. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu declares, Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. All glories to Shri Krishna Sankirtan. The Sankirtan movement we have started offers the best process for becoming purified of all sinful reactions and coming immediately to the platform of spiritual life.
And the most important thing is that other process may free us from sinful reaction, but they will not give bhakti. But chanting of holy name is the most powerful to awaken our bhakti. So the name is described in 2 verses. The name is described in the 2 verses as most excellent, even for acting as an atonement for all of the greatest sins. Brahma Badhi means Manu and others. Nam Padai means just by some indication of the name, such as calling out. I think this is the next verse. Does not mean uproot the sin completely. One realizes Lord's qualities, beauty, power. And another meaning is as follows. But how can a grave sin, which are destroyed only by great austerities and woes, be destroyed by the casual chanting of the name? The name indicates the power, gun, of the Lord, having great fame, Uttam Shloka. The name removes great sin because it is the name of most powerful Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada has used in the omnipotence. So Prabhupada has used the word omnipotence in the purport that is based on these lines of Chaitanya Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Now we are going to the verse number 12. नैकान्तिकं तद्धि कृतेऽपि निष्कृते मनः पुनरः धावति च असत्पथे तत्कर्मनिहारनः अभीप्सां हरेण गुणानुवादः खलु सत्वभावनः. Sattva is a word on which Srila Prabhupada has given a more purport. So there's the translation. Ritualistic ceremonies of the atonement recommended in the religious scripture are insufficient to cleanse the heart absolutely, because after atonement one's mind again runs towards material activities. Consequently, for one who wants liberation from fruitive reaction of the material activities, the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra or glorification of name, fame, pastime of the Lord is recommended as the most perfect process of atonement, because such chanting eradicates the dirt from one's heart completely. Why Srila Prabhupada has written something like chanting Hare Krishna or glorification of name, fame, pastime of the Lord? What is that? Anybody can say?
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes, there is Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So Chakravarti Pad, so Srila Prabhupada's purport, it completely purifies the purport. The statement in this verse have been confirmed previously in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shranam Sukatha Krishna Punya Sarvana Kirtan. Punya Sarvana Kirtan. Antastha Abhadrani. Same. Sri Krishna, the personal Godhead, who is the Paramatma in everyone's heart and benefactor for the truthful devotees, cleans desire for material enjoyment from the heart of a devotee who relishes his message, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. It is the special mercy of Supreme Lord that as soon as he knows that one is glorifying his name, form, attribute, he personally helps cleanse the dirt from one's heart. Therefore, simply by such glorification, one not only become purified but also achieve result of pious activities. Punya Sharvana Kirtana. Punya Sharvana Kirtana refers to the process of devotional service. Even if one does not understand the meaning of the Lord's name, pastime or attributes, one is purified simply by hearing or chanting of them. Such purification is called Sattva Bhavan. One's main purpose in human life should be to purify his existence. Now, what was the main purpose earlier we have seen yesterday? Main purpose of the human life we have also discussed yesterday. Anybody remember? Yes? And
To
one
get
of,
to know and to love or serve the Lord.
I think if you remember, it was to realize oneself and to recognize our relationship with God. So realization of self-realization and relation with God too. Now there's a different thing. What is the main purpose of human life should be to purify his existence. It means actually Sattva Shuddhi, which means actually self-realization, but how? And achieve liberation, which means develop relationship with Lord. These are the two words there, and these are the two different words here. You can put four together. As long as one has a material body, one is understood to be impure. In such an impure material condition, one cannot enjoy a truly blissful life, although everyone seeks it. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam shuddhyet. One must perform tapasya, austerity, to purify his existence in order to come to the spiritual platform. Tapasya of chanting and glorifying the name, form, attribute of the Lord is very easy purifying process by which everyone can be happy. Therefore, everyone who desires the ultimate cleaning of his heart must adopt this process. Other processes such as karma, jnana, yoga cannot clean the heart absolutely. Now, I'm just giving you the one verse, 10:7, 1 and 2. 10:7, 1 and 2. I think during this Janmashtami, this was the main theme I was discussing, and this is more or less like will give this result like this. Can you see this? Here we are. The verse goes like that. Parikshit Maharaj saying, Yena Yena Avatar Bhagavan Hari Ishwara, the incarnation of Supreme Lord. Karoti Karana Ramyani, when we hear, it is very pleasing to the ear. Manognani, it is pleasing to the, it is soothing to the heart. Yes, Shravata Apaiti Arati Vitrashna, by hearing that our distaste for the Lord will removed. Vitrashna, we will have no more hankering for material things. But then this is the word, Sattvam cha Shuddhyate. So there are 7 benefits seven benefits of hearing Krishna Katha or any avatar Katha. Sattvam cha Shuddhyate. Our existence is purified. And what is that existence? And then what is the next benefit? Next benefit is Bhakti Harao. Then the love for Krishna develops. And what is the result of that? Last one. Tata Purushe cha Sakhyam. Then we will have a friendship with the great devotees of the Lord. So this 10:7:1, I think I have given series of lecture on this verse during Janmashtami, before and after. Somehow this verse was too much somehow attractive to me. By simply hearing Bhagavatam, there are 7 benefits. And one of the benefit is Sattvam cha Shuddhyet. It means hearing Bhagavatam is a tapasya. And Sattvam means our existence, and our existence which keep us in this material world is our subtle body. And which in a 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam we know it's made up of 4 things. Mana, mind, intelligence, false ego, and polluted consciousness. And it is contaminated, but there is a pure stage of all these 4. Polluted consciousness become Krishna consciousness. False ego become true ego, I am servant of Krishna. The contaminated mind will the focus on lotus feet of Krishna, Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo. And intelligence, which is now mostly enjoying, has become Sati Mati Mukande. It becomes chaste intelligence focused at the feet of Mukunda. This is Sattam cha Shuddhyet. This is the meaning of Sattvam Shuddhyet. So, Chakravarti Pad has written one thing is very good. Performance of atonement for 12 years is considered inferior to chanting the name, since the mind pursues the path of sin after performing atonement, which does not completely purify the mind. For persons desiring complete destruction of karma, constant chanting of the name and qualities after anu, this is after is important, anu, hearing them from someone in a real process purification of one's existence become existence become it destroy all desires. Anu means following. It means it should be in parampara. According to the Amar Kosh, the word anu means after as well as similar. Why do you criticize committing sin against again after doing atonement? We can explain that this similar to being bitten by the snake without any teeth, since it is caused simply by remaining impressions, just as you explained about commission of sin after chanting. You are mistaken. Our explanation of the name is valid because of a statement that the name destroys all sins along with desires. It's not simply imagination. How can you make your claim? Since there are no statement in the scripture concerning atonement which claim destruction of all desires, even in the exaggerated claim of karma kand, one does not hear of decrease of sinful desire. This was stated previously. So once holy name is so powerful, and now this is the verse 30. Athayenam ma panyat. Now they are giving order Vishnuda. Athay, therefore, na punyat, don't drag him, don't take him. Krita sesha aganishkritam, he has already done the full atonement. All sins are destroyed. Yadasao Bhagavan Nama Mriyamanaha Samagrahit. Oh, at the last moment he has chanted the name of Narayan, so don't touch him, go, leave him alone. At the time of death, Mriyamana, the Sajamil helplessly and very loudly chanted the holy name of Lord Narayan. That chanting alone has already freed him from all reaction of all the sinful life. Therefore, a servant of Yamraj, do not try to take him to your master for punishment in hellish conditions. Somebody should read Srila Prabhupada's purport. Yes? Yes, please.
The Vishnudutas, who are superior authorities, gave orders to the Yamadutas, who did not know that Ajamila was no longer subject to tribulation in hellish life for his past sins. Although he had chanted the holy name Narayana to indicate his son, the holy name is so transcendently powerful that he was automatically freed because he had chanted the holy name while dying, ante Narayana Smriti. As Krishna confirms in Bhagavad Gita 7.28, Yeshantvantagata papam jananam punya karmanam tidvandva mohanir mukta bhajantinam drida vrataha. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. Unless one is freed from all sinful reactions, one cannot be promoted to the platform of devotional service. Elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita 8.5, it is stated, Antakale jamameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yatinastyatra sanshayah. If one remembers Krishna, Narayana at the time of death, one is certainly eligible to return immediately home back to Godhead.
Thank you. You are chanting of the Sanskrit mantra is good. Who is that, Mataji? Yeah.
Prema Manjari Devidasi.
Ocha? Oh, say again. What? Now, what is your name? You said something?
Prema Manjari.
Prema
Devidasi.
Manjari. Thank you very much, Prema Manjari.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Now, these two lines. Last two lines after these verses quoted, same verses quoted by Chakravarti. These lines you write down in your book. Thus, by the appearance of the name or its non-appearance when dying, one can infer the absence of offenses to the name or presence of offenses to the name. This is a very good criteria. At the last moment, if somebody is chanting holy name, it means he is free from offenses. And at the last moment, he is not able to chant the holy name, it means his chanting was with offenses. This, can you see these two lines are, Chakravarti Pada has written something, a criterion. Okay? Oh, we are going to verse number 14. Oh, Sanketyam Parihasyam va Sthobanam Helnameva Vaikunta Nama Granam Asesha Agaharam Vidoho. Vidho means great scholars. So what the great scholars are saying? One who chants the holy name of Lord is immediately freed from the reaction of unlimited sin, even if he chanted indirectly to indicate something else. Jokingly. First is Sanketyam means indirectly. And jokingly, for musical entertainment, or even neglectfully. This is accepted by all the learned scholars of the scripture. Is there purpose is there? No. Is there purport?
No.
So,
No.
your Chakravarti Pad writes, what type of chanting destroy all sin? This is explained by showing how even lesser degree of quality in chanting still have effect. Sanketyam means chanting while referring to someone like a son. Yeah. Sanket and Sanketya. Relating to convention, all the items mentioned should be understood to be instrumental case. By calling the name of son is a Sanketyam. Joking, etc. Parihasyam means calling jokingly, but with affection, not with criticism. Oh, you are, oh, famous one. Your fame is like that of Krishna, since you can save me. This is joking. He has used the word Krishna. Stobam means to chant the name in order to provide proper meter during the discourse or a song. Helenam means that name of the Lord is uttered with disregard, without attention. Hela is used similarly in a phrase like Krishna lifted Govardhan hill casually, Helaya. Other cannot utter the name so much as those who utter the name of Krishna casually whilst eating, playing or sleeping. This chanting is also without criticism and disrespect. Anyone who fails to immediately leave the place where he hears the criticism of the Supreme Lord or his faithful devotees will certainly fall down, bereft of his pious credits. Thus, criticism and disrespect, such as vain saying, "What is the use of Vishnu?" is filled with fault and thus does not have effect. The word Vishnu is used, but is useless. Asesha Agaharam means that not only all sins but also all desires are destroyed by chanting. Hare Krishna, Hari.
So basically, Prabhuji, all past is the sin. Sinful reactions are past and desires are future.
Yeah, desires will
Right?
lead to the future sins. Yeah. Past and future
So
both are cleansed. Right.
Yeah. Very nice, Prabhuji.
So then we have to go 3-4 verses more. But I'm just remembering the story. Shall I tell you?
Yes, please.
Every day where somebody has a very good friend and he used to say, tell Hari. He said, I will never say Hari. And now I will never say what you are saying. He never said Hari. So some very intelligent person was there. He said, please somehow or you make him chant once Hari. At least he will be saved from all his sins. So the person, what he did is, he had the green chili in his a basket and he went in front of the house of that person. And he was saying, please buy this, buy this. What is this? He says, you know what is this? Or he said, Hari Mirchi. Hari means green and Mirchi means chili. Oh, he said, yes, now you chanted the name of Hari. I'm telling you, never get anything in return to this Hari which you have chanted. Even referring to the chili. Hari means green. So when he died, Yamaraj said, you are so sinful, you have to go to hell, but only once you said Hari. What you want, I will give you, then you go to the hell. He said, I will never exchange anything for Hari. Then Yamaraj took him to Brahma. He said, he's not accepting anything for Hari. What can I give him against Hari? He said, I don't know what is the value of Hari. They went to the Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva says, I know Hari, but I don't know what should be exchanged for Hari. Let us go to the Hari himself. So they went to Lord Vishnu, and he said, well, he's not getting anything in exchange of Hari. He's very sinful. Lord Vishnu was smiling. He said, in exchange of Hari, he got Hari. Now you have brought him to me. So you leave him with me and you go back to your job. And at that time, this person said, oh, I got my Hari, now you take this chili back. So this simply, like without offense, chanted Hari. It's pointing to something else, but still his all sins are destroyed. Huh? So this is a story just for preaching. We sometimes use this history. There are other reasons. Patitah sakhalito bhaganah sandishtah tapta ahatah hari iti avasya avashneha puman narhati yatnaha. If one chants the holy name of Hari and then dies because of an accidental misfortune, such as falling from top of the house, slipping, and suffering broken bones while traveling on the road, being bitten by the serpent, being afflicted by the pain and high fever, or even injured by this weapon, one is immediately absolved from having to enter the hellish life, even though he is sinful. He's not going to hellish life. It doesn't mean that he is going to have a love of God. No. He will get a second chance like Ajamil got the second chance. Srila Prabhupada's purport, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, yam yam vapisam bhavante jate ante kalebram. Whatever state of being one remembers, when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. If one practices chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he is naturally expected to chant Hare Krishna when he meets with some accident. Well, this is very important. Even without such practice, however, if one somehow or other chant the holy name of the Lord Hare Hare Krishna, when he meets with an accident and dies, he will be saved from the hellish life after that. See, he's saved from hellish life. It's not that he will get Krishna Prem. So one Prabhupada disciple, when he was in Pakistan and preaching, we were together. Once he got a road accident and he got a simple collarbone broken, and I was in a hospital at that time as a doctor. He came to me. We fixed his collarbone. He was crying. I said, is it pain? He said, no. It's not a major accident. Nothing happened to car. Nothing happened to you. He said, Prabhu, when accident happened, I forgot to chant Hare Krishna. If I would have died, it means all my practice of whole life must have been finished. So I am crying because at that time, why I was not able to chant Hare Krishna. So this is very interesting. His realization was there. Once we were in Allahabad Kumbh Mela, and I know swimming, but I don't have much strength to stay for a long time. So I was dragged by the water coming from Ganga to Yamuna. And one German devotee, Sanak Sanatan, was there, Dinmandu was there. They helped me to come out. So the newspaper reporter said, oh, if you would have died? Then Sanak Sanatan said, what a best place we will have to die than in the Ganga and Yamuna confluence. Everybody wants to bring their bones after death at Ganga. If we would have died in Ganga, that would have been perfection of our life. So the devotees have a different way to say, and many times we have this type of situation, and all of a sudden it says Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So this is a practice which helps even if we chant at that time. Now the verse 16. Oh, this is something. Gurunam cha lagunam cha guna. This is a bigger offense or small offense. Big sin or small sin. Atonement is big or small. Authorities who are learned scholars and sages have carefully ascertained that one should atone for the heaviest sin by undergoing a heavy process of atonement, and one should atone for lighter sins by undergoing lighter atonement. Chanting Hare Krishna mantra, however, vanquishes all effect of sinful activities, regardless of whether they are heavy or light. Srila Prabhupada writes, or this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's purport. Srila Prabhupada has quoted about the story of Samba, son of Jamvati and Krishna. He fell in love with the daughter of Duryodhana and he kidnapped her, and then they seized him, and then this news reached to the Dwarka, and Balaram wanted to they are our relatives, I am going to negotiate with them. But when they did not listen to Balaram, he immediately wanted to drown the whole Hastinapur in the Yamuna. So this point is made that even like Balaram can destroy everything, similarly if we chant the name of Krishna or Balaram, then they will take responsibility and destroy everything in our life which was sinful. See, the purpose is that one should take shelter of Krishna Balaram, the Supreme Personality Godhead, whose protective power is so great that it cannot be equal in the material world. However powerful the reaction of one's sins, they will immediately be vanquished if one chants the name of Hari Krishna Balaram Narayan. Chakravarti Pad has written this. Somebody can read Chakravarti Pad? According to?
I can read, Prabhuji. According to the gravity of the sin, the scriptures say that one must do a correspondingly severe austerity. How is that? By chanting once in Namapash, all of the gravest sins are destroyed. Because the atonements have limited power, such arrangements are prescribed. However, heaps of serious sins are destroyed by chanting once even a portion of the name, since it has inconceivably great power. It is as easy as Balaram's ability to destroy all Kauravas, including Duryodhana, in order to save Samba.
This is he has written only these few lines, and Srila Prabhupada has given the whole story. So it's like that. How the holy name destroyed? Like holy name is not different than Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is so powerful that no sin will be left behind if Krishna is called. So Krishna and Krishna's name are not different. This is a principle. Verse number 70. तैस्तान्यघानि पूयन्ति तपोदानः व्रतादिभिः न धर्महजं तद हृदयं तदह अपि संगृही सेवया. Comparison. Although one may neutralize the reaction of sinful life through austerity, charity, woe, and other such methods, these pious activities cannot uproot the material desire in one's heart. However, if one serves the lotus feet of personality of Godhead, Angri, he is immediately freed from all such contaminations. Srila Prabhupada is quoting, Bhakti Presanubhava, Vrakti, three things come together: devotion, realization of Supreme Lord, and detachment from the world. As when we eat food, we become satisfied, energetic, and happy. All desires within the material world are sinful. Prabhupada's purport. All desires within this material world are sinful because material desire means sense gratification, which always involve actions that is more or less sinful. Pure bhakti, however, is anya abhilashita sunyam, free from material desires, which result from karma and gyan. One who is situated in devotional service no longer has material desire, and therefore he is beyond sinful life. Material desire should be completely stopped. Otherwise, although one's austerities, penance, and charity may free one from sins for a time being, one's desires will reappear because his heart is impure. Thus, he will act sinfully and suffer. This is what Ajamil's case is. He was doing austerity, he was doing puja, he was doing worship, everything, but still there was sinful desire in his heart because he was not doing bhakti. Chakravarti writes, atonement sins are destroyed, puyanti. The verb root is pum, which means to destroy. However, these atonement do not destroy the subtle root, hirdayam, of the sins, adharamajam. By serving the feet of Lord, by bhakti to the Lord, or by one method such as chanting among the 9 processes, the root of sin is destroyed. Since chanting destroyed even the desires for sin. This Bhavartha Deepika is Sridhar Swami, but they have given the Sanskrit, not given English. Verse number 18. Now these 2 verses are speaking about Agyanad athva Agyanad, you know or don't know. Uttam shloka nam yat, if you chant holy name. Sankirtitam agham punsho dehad edho yatha analaha. If fire is there, anything comes, it will burn. You chant holy name, knowingly or unknowingly, it will destroy all sins. This is a principle. As fire burns dry grass to ashes, so the holy name of Lord, whether chanted knowingly or unknowingly, burns the ashes without fail, all reaction of one's sinful activities. Srila Prabhupada writes, fire will act regardless of whether they handled by an innocent child or by some well aware of its power. For example, if a field of straw or a dry grass is set afire, either by an elderly man who knows the power of the fire or by a child who does not, the grass will be burned to ashes. Similarly, one may or may not know the power of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but if one chants the holy name, he will become free from all sins. This is Namabhas. By chanting in this way is not done with knowledge that it is atonement, just as fire lit innocently by a child burns all dry grass, so chanting without knowledge burns up heaps of sins. Last verse for today. Yatha agadam means medicine. Yatha agadam viryantam, how powerful it is. Upayuktam yadarichaya ajananto api atma gunam kurayan mantro api udahirta. If a person unaware of effective potency of a certain medicine take that medicine or is forced to take it, it will act even without his knowledge because its potency does not depend on the patient's understanding. Similarly, even though one does not know the value of chanting holy name of Lord, if one chant knowingly or unknowingly, the chanting will be very effective. Srila Prabhupada writes, this is Prabhupada's personal experience. In Western countries, where Hare Krishna movement is spreading, learned scholars and other thoughtful men are realizing its effectiveness. For example, Dr. J. Stilson Judd, a learned scholar, has been very much attracted to this movement because he has actually seen that it's turning hippies addicted to drugs into pure Vaishnavas who voluntarily become servants of Krishna and humanity. Even a few years ago, such hippies did not know the Hare Krishna mantra, but now they are chanting it and becoming pure Vaishnava. Thus they are becoming free from all sinful activities such as illicit intoxication, meat eating and gambling. This is practical proof of effectiveness of Hare Krishna movement, which is supported in this verse. This verse supports the Hare Krishna movement. One may or may not know the value of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, but if one somehow or other chants it, he will immediately be purified, just as one who takes a potent medicine will feel its effect regardless of whether he takes it knowingly or unknowingly. Chakravarti Pad writes, not only does the name destroy sin, but it bestow prem for the Lord. Another example is given. Viryamatam. Viryatamam. Viryatamam means Virya, Viryatar, Viryatam, good, better, best. Stand for Viryatamam, having the most power. Means suddenly, Yadrisha means suddenly, without knowing. Strong medicine taken, without knowing, produce its qualities of curing disease, giving strength and nourishment. Similarly, name, uttered form of mantra, or a mantra composed of the name of the Lord, when chanted, gives its effect. One does not have to know the power of the name in order for it to have effective. So here we have finished our today's quota. We are late by 5 or 10 minutes. I am sorry, but is it okay? Now any question or comment?
Very nice points, Prabhuji. Several very nice points brought up today. I really like one also that, even if you don't know the potency, and it's clearly said, like you don't know the potency of the medicine, but still you get benefit. So
the two examples are given: fire and medicine. Fire and medicine. Srila Prabhupada used to say that love of God is already in everybody's heart, whether he is in West or East. I simply knew how to awaken that. Otherwise, how could these Western people have started chanting Hare Krishna? So it means the love of God is there in everybody's heart, number one. Number two, the process to awaken is of chanting holy name. Therefore, all over the world, it is producing its effect. Even people don't know it, but it is. I think one Professor Bhasham from England, who has written the book what is called Wonders That Was India, he came to India from Calcutta. He went to a village where people were chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra with a Panchatattva picture. He was watching for a while. He said, after some time, I started chanting. And after half an hour, I was also dancing with them. I don't know, but it was happening. So this process is so powerful, he has written, that I was simply went to do research, but it has influenced me. And I started chanting and I was dancing with them for some time. So it means the Maha Mantra is so powerful that even if we don't know, it produces its effect.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Any?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
I have a question when you got to text 13, when you asked us to take a note on this. Thus, by the appearance of the name or its non-appearance when dying, one can infer the absence of offenses to the name or the presence of offenses to the name. So, if one is, what is the meaning of the presence of the name? Which means, just like in the verse it described Ajamil, he chanted.
Presence of the name means he chanted the name. It means he chanted the name. Or if he's not able to chant, but at least he can hear the name and you can see his face is more peaceful when you chant the name. So it is depending upon the condition of the person.
And hearing the name means what Prabhupada quotes in what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes is Antakalicham, or you remembering the Lord. So if you're hearing and you're remembering, Antakalicham.
Hearing, remembering, chanting, even focusing one's gaze on some picture of Krishna, all these are more or less same. Name, form, qualities, guna, everything is included. They are non-different than Krishna.
Thank you, Babu.
Hare Krishna. Now, I somehow these lines attracted my mind that some people we say so much to chant, they are not able to chant because still they have so many offenses to the holy name. And some people, first time they chant Hare Krishna, and they become so happy and jubilant because they don't have offenses. But to say at the end of life, in the life we can check, we can test the people. Kunti Maharani said, those who are not really akinchan, they cannot chant feelingly holy name. Only those who are impoverished materially and full with Krishna Prem, they can chant feelingly, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Otherwise, people won't chant like that.
So that means, Prabhuji, in many of us, our conditions, we engage in material things. It's hard to have that feeling. Kinchana gochara.
Okay, I think like Pundarik Vidyanidhi, you may have opulence, still anything which relate to Krishna must immediately transform our life, and we should dance immediately, whatever situation we are in. I think if you are maybe going to your office and your car in 3-piece, if you see some sannyasi and devotee, immediately you will stop the car on the side and bow down and say Hare Krishna. This is spontaneous. Is it okay?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we finished our quota somehow. We spent, I saw 1 hour and 16 minutes on only that purport of verse number 10. And rest 45 minutes for the rest of the verses. 9 verses.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, where do you get that copy with both Bhavarta Deepika and Darshani Tika there?
They are all in that which I gave you. This is, I think, Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya have produced the soft copy, but it's still some.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I posted it on the VIHE Sevaks group that Prabhu had sent me a Google Drive link.
Oh, okay.
I just posted.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah, Prabhuji, everyone doesn't have access to the Seva group. If you could post it on the Canto 6 book, or Canto 6.
Okay, I'll send Canto 6.
No, I will post it there also. I just the same link. I think.
I think you can do that. I'm not very technical. I have Hindi Bhavarta Deepika. In Hindi, I have Sridhar Swami's in a photocopy form, but it's not suitable for you. English is there, but it's not translated in some places. And this is Jiva Goswami's Karma Sandram is there also, but with a Sanskrit. Hare Krishna, everybody. Vancha Kalpatru.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Dandavad Pranam.
Recording stopped.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.